Hey guys, Fang slash VA here, coming at you with a new video. And in today's video, I want to discuss you guys the future of Sonic. With the release of Sonic Superstars, and of course when that game got announced, I wasn't expecting for us to get a whole new Sonic game, especially considering the fact that when it was announced, they were still putting out updates for Sonic Frontiers and still, you know, supporting that game and still promoting Frontiers. So I didn't exactly have a new 2D Sonic game on my Sonic bingo card for 2023. So as always, if you're new here, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I don't normally do this in my videos, but definitely go check out the comic dub I did yesterday. I think it was probably the best one I've done yet. I literally put my heart and soul into it. I put 120% into it. It was super emotional. It definitely pushed me as a voice actor, and I really enjoyed it, so definitely go check it out. That's the only plug I'm doing for myself in this video. That should probably tell you guys how much I really am like proud of myself with that comic dub. So anyways, back to the main topic here. With the release of Sonic Superstar today, which I still don't have my copy yet, hopefully it ships here soon. Because I really want that Lego Eggman skin, let me tell you. To say that I'm excited to play Sonic Superstars is a understatement. I've always been like, no matter what game they do, I'm always going to be there to support it. I'm never going to be one of those people that's just going to nitpick it just because of the fact that, well, according to the vocal minority of the Sonic fan base, there's just too much classic Sonic nowadays. Which like I said, if you saw a video I put out, I believe 2 weeks ago, you all would know that I'm not a fan of that narrative because people were wanting classic Sonic back after the disappointment of Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2. So I found that statement a bit hypocritical. But yeah, like, when me and Babe were watching Summer Game Fest. Well, me and Mizu, I'm so used to calling her Babe and all. When they got to the Sonic Superstars reveal, I wasn't expecting it. I was not expecting the fact that we were going to get a new 2D Sonic game, a classic Sonic game, and a whole new Sonic game this year. Considering the fact that, like I said, they were still putting out updates for Frontiers, they were still supporting that game. So, as I said, before Takashi Iizuka said that, 2023 is not going to be a light year for Sonic, I was okay, well, maybe they might put out a port, or maybe they might put out like a compilation that consists of Sonic Advance, Trilogy, and Sonic Rush. Something like that. But to say that we got a whole new classic Sonic game, I was excited because I was a big fan of Mania. And even though that I want a Sonic Mania 2, and I'm sure that a lot of people that, are fans of classic Sonic and also fans of Sonic Mania would agree with me on this, I definitely would like a Sonic Mania 2. But I do remember hearing rumblings, the fact that they were working on a 2D Sonic game. Um, the report said that it was like a 2D modern Sonic game, so maybe this fits the bill because it does look modern and it still looks 2D. So I guess this kind of fits the criteria of that. But also too, they have one of the creators of Sonic working on it. His studio, even though that he has, his studio has worked on 2 games that didn't do well. I mean, naturally too, when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog, I mean, of course, he would know he would know his stuff because he, worked on the first game and also CD. So, and the fact that they imported the physics from Mania is also great because that kind of destroys the narrative that they said about, during Generations that, they can't replicate classic Sonic's movements one for one with 3D. And I don't think it was so much that they couldn't. I think it was so much that they, just didn't want to, possibly. That is definitely one nitpick I have with Generations, is how weird classic Sonic is. I mean, even though that I do enjoy the overpowered spin dash, I definitely prefer classic Sonic to be more closer to how he plays in Genesis games. So yeah, like, having Sonic Superstars come out is a big, is a big deal because it kind of shows us that, well, maybe just maybe this might be a normal thing. Maybe just maybe with this momentum from Frontiers and now Sonic Superstars, which is another success, right? And it's getting positive reviews. Maybe just maybe this might, maybe just maybe that, there might be a bit of a to where like every year they're alternating games. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a possible theory on what I think could happen. Now, do not take this as concrete. I don't have any quote unquote sources. I will never, ever, even if I were to get leaks, I would never, ever make a video on them because I personally don't like when people make videos about leaks because it can ruin. Um, so I think the next game we could be getting could be some sort of spinoff. It could be either a new game, it could be a new, Sonic racing game, or maybe just maybe it could be a new Sonic Riders game. Now, if it's not a spin-off, it could be a new compilation. Now, what should that compilation be? Well, why not do Sonic Advance, the Sonic Advance trilogy, and then the Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure? Why not do that as a compilation? Maybe put it out for $20 or something like that. People would gladly buy that. I know I would. Because the thing is that, a lot of people say that Sonic Mania was the first, good Sonic game in how many years, but, Sonic Advance is actually, in terms of how it plays, it's pretty close to how the Sonic games were on the Genesis, at least in my opinion. So if we don't get a compilation, maybe we'll get a port of a 3D Sonic game. And I think it's time. I think the 3 most possible choices for these ports is Sonic Unleashed, the 360 and PS3 version. And I kind of already predicted what they would do. I don't think that they would update. They would definitely clean up the textures. They would probably clean up the graphics and the UI. But I also do think, to go alongside with something that really is a pet peeve of mine, is the whole removing of any sort of challenge from a game. I feel like they would give people unlimited lives and continues, unless they make it to where you can turn that on and off, which is what I think they should start doing. Give people an option. I mean, Crash Bandicoot did. I mean, Crash Bandicoot, its time did that. They had a classic mode, and then they had a modern mode. To where classic mode is more old school. You had the lives, you had the continues, and then you had the modern mode to where it was the unlimited lives and continues. And then, of course, the next thing they could is, I know this is going to be a little bit contentious with people, is proper ports of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 that is closer to the quality of the Dreamcast versions. The reason why I say that, now I'm not dissing the GameCube one. Let me just make this known right now. The GameCube version of Sonic Adventure 1 was the first time I've ever played the first Sonic Adventure, and I do like Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut on the GameCube. But it is a very proven fact that the version on the GameCube, because of its porting job, has a lot of bugs. And when they ported it to the PC, it got even more bugs and glitches. And then when they ported that version over to Steam, it got even more glitches and bugs. I know what a awesome Sonic Adventure DX, port could be in 2023 and 2024 because of the that mod to where you can either put it back to how it was during the Dreamcast, or you can just make the game keep the updated models from Sonic Adventure DX, but then you also have the Dreamcast textures. I know what that could. I know how much people would probably say that these are the best ports that they've ever done. They did something like that. Because the fact of the matter is, the one thing I will never understand Sonic Adventure DX, when they ported it to the GameCube, was during the everyone knows Speed Highway, right? And then once you get to the sunset part of it, to where you're going over to the bell tower, well, that bell tower, they removed the freaking bell tower that was the same bell tower in that level from the hub world in the GameCube port. So I never quite understood why they did. I don't know if that was an oversight or what, but it's like there's a bit of a plot hole there. And if someone says, okay, well, that could be a different clock tower. No, it's not. The clock tower and the building I'm referring to is the same one that you punch the you punch the no crossing sign as Knuckles, and it breaks the doors open to where you can play that same part of that level as Knuckles, and you start out in the bell tower area. So yes, the fact that they removed that in Sonic Adventure DX is go, huh, that's a little bit odd. Anyways, moving on to the topic of this video, and of course Sonic Adventure 2, which they don't really need to do much with that game to make it, I guess, run more modern. But they should definitely upgrade the textures and maybe get a better subtitle job, the Japanese dubbing, and maybe also adjust the audio levels as well, because there's some too that can be more louder than when Sonic's speaking, and vice versa. And definitely fix the dialogue during the forest encounter between Sonic and Shadow, because there's that part at the end where they kind of overlap. And that comes down to the fact that the mouth flaps was made for the Japanese cast. And the third port I think they could do is a Sonic Generations. Now, if I had it my way, along with the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 port, I think they should include Sonic Heroes, and they could literally call it Sonic 3D Origins. You have Super Mario, you have Super Mario All Stars, and then you have Super Mario 3D All Stars. And I believe I've explained that in a previous video. So yeah, so the next thing they could do is a spin-off or a port or a compilation. After that, we get the next major 3D Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers 2. Because I think if they stick with the Frontiers formula and they really improve upon the first game, it could literally be like the early to where you have both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 come out, and both games did very, very, very well. This whole notion that Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are bad games, I don't know where that came from, but back then, they got good reviews. And plus, I've always been someone that has always been kind of against reviewing games that came out during like the late 90s or the early 2000s and like and comparing them to like modern games, because of course those older games are going to seem like they aged like milk. So, which is a term I hate, by the way. So yeah, and maybe they make some free DLC for that game for about a year, and then maybe during the year that they finish up the updates, we get another new classic Sonic game. It could be a Sonic Superstars 2, or maybe they get the team that worked on Sonic Mania back and they make a Sonic Mania 2 with pixel art. So there's different ways that they could start doing this. Are we going to take a break? Let me rephrase that. Are they going to take a break again for a long time when it comes to releasing Sonic games? No. I think what happened was it was a perfect storm of that. They definitely needed to rethink some things after Sonic Forces. And then COVID hits, which created this perfect storm of, well, we're going to wait even longer for a new Sonic game. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that we all can I think that we can all agree that Sonic Frontiers was the wait. And then of course too, like, you know, we have the Knuckles Show. I've been hearing some rumblings from I saw something pop up, the fact that the Knuckles Show might get delayed, and I think I think it will, because we don't have a trailer. We don't know how much got done before the strikes happened. So I think we won't be getting the Knuckles Show until next year. And then of course next year we also have Sonic Movie 3 as well. But here's the thing, you guys, that could have been delayed too because of the strikes. And then we have all the comics, and then we have Sonic Speed Simulator and Roblox to keep us busy until the next Sonic game comes out. So I think overall, you guys, I think the Sonic franchise is in a very good place right now. And hopefully that term doesn't bite me in the butt. but I'm feeling very, very, very confident in the future of our favorite Blue Boy. And so I hope everyone enjoys Sonic Superstars. Plan on getting it. If you do plan on playing it, let me know down below. I definitely will be playing it. I know that my girlfriend is definitely going to play it. And yeah, like I said, it's a great time to be a Sonic fan. Honestly, this year, it's great to be a gamer. Like, truly. We had Starfield, we had, Resident Evil 4 remake. We had the Dead Space remake. We have Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out also this year. Well, this month. Actually, at the end of this month. We have, Super Mario Wonder. We have Super Mario RPG remake. We had the new Zelda game. So things are looking good for us games this year. So, oh yeah, we also had Jedi Survivor this year too. I cannot forget about that. So, anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about everything. Let me know if you all agree or disagree or not, and let's have a. So, as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys.